Ralph here, and welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness on this wonderful Wednesday here in Connecticut. Life is awesome. Awesome. What a day. Nick, you and your family get on a plane and get here to Connecticut if your daughter isn't already here. It's like 63 degrees. It's like spring is sprung. And I have to control myself. Down boy. I'm the poster boy for spring fever. January 4th is a little early for that. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Relax the corners. We're back to the basics. Relax the corners for the new year. Relax the corners. Proper tongue placement. This is what allows you to keep the corners relaxed. All right? Now, my cleaning lady will be here any minute. I got to get this up. I haven't played a note. So, let's see if we're stiff, sore, whatever, and we'll get to proper tongue placement. Feels pretty good. How could I do that? No warm-up, not a mark on the lips. Hellacious double high C's that I could have held forever. Then go right down, change trumpets, same mouthpiece, caress the baby. How could I do that? Relax corners, proper tongue placement, which we're going to talk about, and no air. No air at all. Barely blowing, but I'm knocking the walls down with double C's. Okay, now, we've been through that. Here's the deal. If you start with relaxed corners, no matter what mouthpiece you're on, if you do not have the proper tongue placement, there is only one thing to do for the tone to go up, and that is control it with the corners, tighten the corners. That's all there is to do it. That's why most of the top symphony guys are tight as a drum in the corners. Tight as a drum in the corners. Okay? Now, there's only one way that I know, and one way only, to keep the corners relaxed while you are playing. And that is with the tongue controlling the whole thing. Okay? If it's Claude Gordon and it's going back, that's one thing. That's one way of doing it a little bit better than tightening with the corners. But as you know, when the tongue goes back, the chops have to follow. That's just a physiological fact. All these muscles of the embouchure are anchored by the tongue. If the tongue stays forward, you will stay forward. Your chops will stay forward and relaxed. If the tongues go back, it has to go back. That's all there is to it. And the Claude Gordon guys kill me all the time. I don't care. I don't care if you believe me. You're wrong. So, what is the proper tongue placement? Very, very simple. Get my book, True Power to the Max. It's all in there for $10. Guys, I sold a bunch of them yesterday. Guys, it's the best book ever written for trumpet and brass by Jerome Kallett. A quote. Not me, a quote. And he wrote several books. All right? Now, with that said, if these are the teeth, the tongue has to be through the teeth on every note you play. And it does not move. The tip of the tongue does not move. There's no more of this. No more of that. Okay? Now, we're going to change this from the teeth to the lips. If that's the bottom lip and that's the tip of your tongue is going into the soft inner red of your bottom lip. It is not way the heck down there. Jerry and I tried that about 20 years ago. No. It's right up at the top and pressing against the soft inner red of the bottom lip. 2 octaves, no corners at all. Because the tongue was in the right place. Okay? Now, if the tongue is in the right place and it is pressing against the bottom lip, it's like isometrics. Do this with me right now. Okay? If that's your bottom lip and that's your tongue, you're pressing against, press it, do that right now, and feel how that, by hyperradiation, engages other muscles. You feel it in your pecs, you feel it in your shoulders, you feel it down your arms. Okay, now do this. Pull against it like you're stretching. That doesn't engage the other muscles as nearly as much. And you can, after 5 minutes of this, you're going to be stiff and sore. This, all the other muscles are engaged. And you can do this forever. You can do that forever too. Now what happens, just like these muscles become engaged, your tongue and your bottom muscle are going to splay. They're going to flex. Just like you're flexing your for the gun show. Now, what we'll do, it will press from side to side against the top and the lower molars. Now, I'm not asking you to think about that while you're playing. You don't. You don't at all. This is the first and the last time you're ever going to think about it. And not only will it splay side to side, it will go up towards the roof of your mouth. Sometimes it will be right against the roof of the mouth at a double C, and you're not going to believe it. Okay? All of that is completely relaxed. It's thick. Now what happens is the bottom lip, like you're flexing a muscle, not stretched like this. You feel it's firm, but it's not pulling against each other. That's the last thing you want. That will muscle up. Take a punch. Tongue, take a punch. If that is through the teeth and anchored against the bottom lip, on every note you play, you will have true power. Now, if this, the tip of the tongue, ceases to be the articulation point. Jerry did this to all of us once. He drew a little circle on our tongue. It is going to articulate farther up on the tongue. That is a genetic issue. Yours will be different from mine. It may feel definitely like it is changing the articulation point as you go higher because the tongue is getting thicker. All right? It probably won't change, but it might feel like it. Don't worry about it. I'm telling you, this is the last time you think about the molars and that articulation point. It will just happen. Trust me. I've never had one student out of the thousands that I've had that had any trouble doing that. Okay? All you're thinking about is this. Bottom lip, tip of the tongue, press as you go higher. Now watch how much is moving. If this is my tongue, watch how much it moves. It barely moves at all. It barely moves at all. That's your double C. That's your complete and total control. Takes all the stress off your lips. That's why you can go from the highest notes to the lowest notes, the single pedals, the double pedals, switch horns, E flat, pick, doesn't matter, all with the same mouthpiece. It's the greatest system ever made, ever produced for trumpet, with the greatest mouthpiece ever designed for trumpet. Get in touch with me, guys. Let's get this done. All right? Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Not the fake stuff, true power. Love you all.